Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, so Talk Tuesday today. We're at the straight road. Hey, Mish! I see you. I see the mischief. Sorry. So we're at the straight road today. It is nice and reasonably cool. That being said, the water spots, as Murphy has discovered, clearly, are basically dry at this point. So we're starting to approach, unless we get another big rain, we're starting to approach the time where I switch over to when I walk them in the water place I use. And we'll stay there pretty consistently through the summer until it starts to cool off again. Just because we can't be walking in the sun without having easy access to water for these guys. So, or even just a place where they can get their feet wet. Okay. So who do we have here? For those who want a head count, we've got 14 today. Got our usual bunch, and then we have 2 boarders. So who do we have? Archie's right here. Tucker, Phoebe. Hamish. Hamish is being a little bit of a pill. Hamish, good boy. 1 guest, 2 guest, Nova. Flash, one of the boarders. Rosie, the other boarder. Hold on. There she is. We've got Murphy, Cosmo, there's Stella, Cronk, who is like vanguarding the heck out of today. Cronk! Hi! Oh my goodness. Don't run into my shins, please. Please don't run into my shins. Good. Very nice. Okay, go. Maggie. And Tucker's in the grass up there. Hi. Good boy, Archie. So yeah, so that's our bunch today. Assuming I didn't miss anyone. Like I said, there's 14. So if I didn't name 14 dogs, we know what's up. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that seems sort of like a duh moment, but it is Hamish. I'm serious, dude. It is a thing that's pretty important, and something I encounter, especially when I'm starting new dogs on walk, or even when I'm starting training with people. One of the first things I address is, does your dog know its name? And you're like, of course my dog knows its name. It's okay. Have you taken the time to sit down and teach your dog its name? Because just like anything else, we have to keep in mind, dogs do not speak English. So just because you give them a name and you say their name at them, they don't necessarily know that it's their name. And in reality, like, you could argue that a dog never really understands that it's its name. It does understand that when you say that word, it needs to pay attention, right? Which, you could argue the same for us. But anyways, so tone of voice is also kind of a big thing in training. And you'll hear that on walk. A lot of times, like, I will say their name and I usually won't say a command. But by the tone of voice, they understand, like with Hamish. Mish, let's go. Phoebe, front. Oh, you found some mud. Good. Rosie, let's go. Good girl. Got everybody else. Okay. Of course. Oh, we're going to show off the dirty belly too? Yeah, okay. So my test with that is, like, when you say your dog's name, do they look at you? Which is, like, really, are you choking on the grass you're rolling in? Which is really the goal. Like, whenever we say a dog's name, we want that dog's attention. And that's all it is. It's an attention grabber, right? So let's say you're teaching recall. If your recall is just to say the dog's name, that's not going to work. In fact, that's going to really mess it up later on down the road, because your dog is going to blow through their name, right? Your dog is going to actively ignore their name if they don't want to listen. But you definitely cause them out. I don't even know what I said there. I didn't say your name. Okay, Flash, out. Go. Thank you. Good. So in pack walk, it's particularly important that the dogs know their names, because obviously I give commands to certain dogs. I'm not expecting everyone to do it at the same time. Phoebe is like, I'm done with this walk. I'm done with these flies. Can we just like hit the end and turn around? That's what's happening up there. And like there are certain cases, like my dog, for example, if I say his name, Cronk, he's going to turn around and he's going to come. Good. Okay, go. And that is a part of teaching name recognition. It's not a recall. I'm not asking for a sit. I'm not asking for anything in particular. Oftentimes I'll do it while I'm still moving, so he does a drive-by treat. If he was any way decent at catching, I would throw food at his face, but he's really not. So we just give him the food to make it easy. But I hear, especially if I'm working with training, yeah, I saw that. Especially when I'm working with training with people and we happen to be close to a dog park, one of the things I hear the most is just people constantly calling their dog's name and not getting any reaction. And you use your dog's name a lot, like a lot more than you think you do. So it doesn't actually have any meaningful, Cronk out. Thank you. It doesn't actually have any meaningful command to it, right? Like all it should mean is pay attention, and even then your dog's going to stop paying attention because it gets used so often. So when we're talking about a dog's name, sorry about the motorcycle, good lord. Okay, let's try it again. So when we're talking about a dog's name and teaching them their name, in the beginning, anytime they look at you when you say their name, it's food. And that's because we want to teach them that looking at us, engaging with us, particularly when we say their name, is all good girl feed, is always a good thing. And then gradually we phase that out, but we're still left with like, Murphy. Good. Oh, hold on. Oh, that was gross. That exploded. Good boy, Murphy. And now I'm covered in blood. Great. Okay. Yeah. Yep, still not editing my videos, so y'all are gonna see that disgusting horsefly. Okay. So yeah, and you guys will have seen this if you've been with Stride for a while, when we had Rosie. Yeah, good girl. When we had Rosie for a boarding train. Okay, go. And I showed you guys what the Rosie game was, which is why it's called the Rosie game, because we used Rosie. But it really is just the name game and how I use it and how I teach it. What's nice about doing it on walk too is you're basically making you more interesting. Cronk, stay out of the mud hole. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy, go. You're basically making yourself the most interesting thing on walk. Cronk, seriously, don't go in the mud hole. Thank you. And that's important for when you hit distractions that would be really engaging, like a squirrel, like a groundhog. We run into all sorts of things out here, like clearly evidenced by the coyote video a couple weeks ago. And the way I keep them with me and engaged with me is I start off, like you guys know my system for all new dogs. Part of that training is the name game as well. And even part of the drills I do also include the name game. So there are points on walk where I will just have a handful of kibble and I will start calling their names. And again, no expectations. I'm not looking for anything other than engagement. So they look at me, they come to me, they get food. Or if they look at me and I know they can catch, I throw food at their face. And that's basically just how I get their interest and I keep their interest. And I do that for like weeks. When even still, Cosmo, you're not going in there. Thank you. Good boy. And you can see that's simply his name. But no sit, no nothing. Cronk! Thank you. Sorry, there's right at the end of that ditch there's a really deep pit that is always full of stagnant water. And I try to keep them out of that. Because it is not the best water in the world. Yeah, so I'll take a handful of kibble, and that'll literally be the drill for that section of walk. Is I say your name, you get food. And it's only whatever dog. Archie. What do you have? Okay, that's fine. Carry on. And it seems simple and silly and easy and whatever, but it has huge impacts on their training. So if you haven't tried that one on your walks, and it doesn't even have to be an off-leash walk. Out, move it along. Thank you. It doesn't even have to be an off-leash walk. It can be while you're walking on leash. So, yeah, I hope. Hey, Mish. No. That was a good example there, right? Like I said his name and he looked at me. And he knows that's all I want. Like, I don't want to recall there. Cosmo, out of the mud pit. Cronk, out of the mud pit. Thank you. Okay. Again, we're going over 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop now because YouTube does get very angry at me. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this or any other video, you know what to do. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having as much fun as your dogs are. Speaking of. And we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.